Your Minecraft houses look like this. You want them to look like this. This video is for you. These are the 5 things that I do with my builds that you may not be doing with yours and that you may be able to improve on even if you are doing them. And the first one is right behind me. It's shape, right? So look at this house. It's just a big, long rectangle with a basic roof. It's got some nice details on it, but it's not that impressive. Versus if you look at this one, shape is a lot different. Oh, you've got you've got like sort of this jutting out section where it's basically the same thing, but it juts out and it adds to the shape, and you've got this chimney tower thing that just makes it look that little bit better. Now, if you come over to here, this is just sort of an example of how shape can influence uh, how good a house looks. So, we want to roof this section of the house, right? You have to go up this many blocks exactly like this. You have to go up this many blocks, which is not fun, right? So let's finish this, and then the roof is gonna have to look like this. It makes the house unnecessarily tall, and you have to detail this entire wall if you want it to look good, and it just doesn't look as good nearly. Versus if you have something like this, you can add a roof to all 3 parts of this, and the shape looks significantly better. Like it's easier to digest in smaller parts like this. Now, obviously, if you're doing a mega build, you're gonna have to have some stuff like this sometimes. But like, we're not doing any mega builds here. You look around this entire world, and none of the builds are huge. They may be like bigger, but they're not enormous. And then you look at this wall again, and we've gotta do something with it. So we're just gonna do another roof. And you know what? We'll even change up the roof design a little bit so it'll go with the roof over here better. It'll look even more different. Again, different shapes, easier for your eyes to sort of take in. It just like adding little things makes a huge, huge difference in every house you could ever build. And now, if you look at that, that is much easier to digest and take in and looks better than this. And the roof isn't even finished on either of these. Uh, Now, the second thing I want to talk about is framing. And there's a couple of different ways to do this. The first way is the framing that's sort of built in, it's flush with the rest of the wall. And you look at both of these houses, which are built exactly the same, and this one looks better because it's less of this flat oak color that's over here. The windows don't look so lonely by themselves, and the roof looks like almost more supported by the pillars in the corners, and I feel like this looks much, much better. The other thing is a frame that comes out on the block just a little bit more. This I think looks better in most cases. It makes it easier to detail the walls, which you'll see over, over there. But I like this much, much more than I like the sort of flat framing over here. And this is what happens when you choose blocks that don't work together. I tried my best to make it look nice-ish, and it kind of does, but it doesn't look good. So let's just move on from that and talk about the next thing, which is roofing, right? So just adding different roofs to builds and mixing it up can make houses look significantly better. Like take this one for example, where all three of these are the basic roofs, but you've got a tower roof. Or this house over here has, you know, this one like curved roof. You have a slab roof there, a tower roof, and like the basic roof. So mixing up roofs can make a build look significantly better. And if you check out this video that Flip made, uh, he has a lot of great roof designs for like diagonal builds and stuff, which all look really good if I'm honest. The next thing I'm going to talk about are block pallets, and there's lots of different ways you can do this. If you don't know what a block pallet is, basically a block pallet is just the blocks that you choose. So in this example, we've got the spruce block pallet. We've even got the spruce logs over here, and then these three stones we've sort of textured the walls with, and using literally 4 different types of blocks. This house looks great, and it uses the flat framing style that I said I like a little bit less, but it does a really good job with what it has. In this example, we've got a slightly less normal build palette. We use the 3 pink-ish terracottas and then crimson blanks. And I like this house just as much too. I'm proud of this house, mostly because I had never tried something like this, but I figured I wanted to do some sort of funkier build palette than things that I had done normally, just to sort of get out of my comfort zone and show you that if you pick blocks that match, then it looks good. The last house I built, I'm really proud of. I incorporated a lot of the different things that I've shown, right? So I have the frame with this dark oak log, the stripped dark oak log, and I used all the deep slate and then the dark oak stuff, and I think it looks so, so good. And we have a really interesting shape with this like curved section here too. I'm so proud of this. And this is what happens when you choose blocks that don't work together. I tried my best to make it look nice-ish, and it kind of does, but it doesn't look good. So let's just move on from that and talk about the next thing, which is roofing, right? So just adding different roofs to builds and mixing it up can make houses look significantly better. Like take this one for example, where all three of these are the basic roofs, but you've got a tower roof. Or this house over here has this one like curved roof. You have a slab roof there, a tower roof, and like the basic roof. So mixing up roofs can make a build look significantly better. And if you check out this video that Flip made, uh, he has a lot of great roof designs for like diagonal builds and stuff, which all look really good if I'm honest. The last thing I'm going to talk about is detailing walls, right? There's a lot of different tactics, and we'll get some of that over here. The first one is adding windows and shutters and stuff. And there's different ways to add shutters. Yeah, over here you can see I sort of did the design that has like the shutter all the way open, versus on this wall the shutter is like halfway open, and it looks like you could shut it. Decorating the entryways is also a nice way to sort of decorate a house. Now the next thing is yeah, texturing. So if you come back here and look, you can sort of texture these walls to look a certain way, and that looks nice, especially if you're doing like stones or the deep slate stuff like I did back there. That can look really nice. And now you get to some bigger wall things. Grian has a really good video that I used sort of to build both of these uh, on different walls. I've got sort of two different ideas here. The first one is just a really big, like, single floor wall, but it's separated into sections. You've got some big windows and maybe some like planter pots that you can put flowers and stuff in, and it looks really, really nice. The other one is sort of similar, but it's got like a second floor that like juts out, but it's pretty much the same, and I think they both look really nice. And he's got, like I said, a more in-depth video on his YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Link in the description. With all of that being said, I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you got something out of it, be sure to subscribe. I will be doing some streaming here soon on the Twitch channel. Link to that will also be in the description, where I may use some of these tips and answer some of your questions if you have any. And with that being said, I hope you all have a great day. Stay happy and healthy. I'll see you all next time.